Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Israel, and I'm so excited to have this webinar here tonight. The webinar tonight is going to be focused on and called Creating a Healthier You. And so I have the pleasure to have a gentleman on here that's a great friend of mine, who's someone that's just been made an impact in my life and in my family, and also the clients and people that I deal with on a daily basis. And I'm really excited to share with you kind of my story and why I got involved with what we're about to share with you, or what Alex is going to be sharing with you when I introduce him, of what really we're trying to get across tonight. And basically the focus of what we want to create and what we're going to share tonight is really how to create a healthier you. How do you go about that? How to really have that breakthrough and the hope and transformation of where losing weight meets lifestyle, and really creating a lifestyle that matters most to you. And so just kind of my background is I've been a fitness professional for over 10 years. And for the longest time, ever since I got in the industry till about a year and a half ago, I always thought I had the best tools and things to implement to help my clients succeed. And what I found out is that most people were not utilizing all the tools that we had available, but I didn't have the best ones to really help people succeed. And so the tools that we're going to share with you was really the breakthrough, not only for my family, but also the people I truly care and love about that don't live where, that cannot make it into my studio, to really see a transformation and help them with every single hour of their day to see success in their health that goes way beyond just losing weight. And so I hope you're on this webinar because you want to really see a breakthrough in your health and make it really see a transformation in your life that goes way beyond weight loss. And so what the program that Alex is going to share, what we're going to talk about, is really all about that. And the biggest shift was when clients were basically in my studio out exercising all their bad habits. And so this tool, or what we're going to share, is really all about making that shift and utilizing everything available. And so without further ado, Alex is, like I mentioned, I met him a while ago at a fitness event, and we just stayed in contact over the years. And he's just made an impact in my life and what this program has really done for me. And so he's gonna share with you guys what really is going on and how we can make an impact in your guys' life. And hopefully there's something that resonates with you, what he's gonna share, that will hopefully give you the confidence to take that first step to see that transformation in your life. So Alex, take it away.
Well, hey there. Thank you so much, Israel, for the introduction. And I really appreciate, first off, I just want to say I'm excited because we have an amazing lineup on this webinar tonight. First off, we're going to talk exactly at what it takes to shift from the diet, whole doing the losing weight thing, gaining it back thing that always seems to happen in most people's life. It's like kind of being in a rocking chair. You rock forward, but then what happens? You rock right back. And you give it all this energy, and then you rock right back. So we're going to move you out of the rocking chair and into the race car, where you actually go somewhere and you have performance and you're able to shift gears and to make it to that next place. We're going to talk about something that a lot of people have heard the word of, but they don't really know what it means because they've never really found it. And that is truly having a healthy lifestyle. People talk about taking a lifestyle approach versus a diet approach. Well, what does that really mean? And what does that actually look like for you, for me, to implement into your life? And so with that said, first off, I want to thank Paul from Utah. You guys, what's the name of the facility? Is it Riverton?
Riverton Fit Body Boot Camp.
Excellent. So we've got Paul with Riverton Fit Body Boot Camp on with us. And he's really the one who inspired this event, saying, hey, I've got all of these clients whom I love. I'm serving with my life. Yet a lot of them are struggling with their nutrition and their habits. What can we do? And so we've linked arms with Paul, another fellow ambassador. That's how you say fellow and Paul together is fall. Hey, Paul. But so Paul, thank you. So could you tell us a little bit about what it was that inspired you to kind of grab a hold of Israel and say, hey, talk to me about what's happening here?
Absolutely. So I wanted to get part of the Fit Body Boot Camp. I love the aspect of helping tons of people and actually get results.
Mm-hmm.
So meeting you and meeting Israel at the Fitness Business Summit and keeping in contact since then, and then starting my own fitness facility, the Riverton Fit Body Boot Camp, realizing that what I wanted to do is really help the members get more results.
Mm-hmm.
So I started reaching out to some Fit Body owners and reached back out to Israel and to yourself. And that's when you kind of let me know what you had available and that you're having really good success with it and helping your clients with it. And that's what I want to do for my clients. So I let them know all the time. I'm just here to help best support you the best that I can. So if with that, I linked arms with Israel and yourself, and I'm ready to help anyone that's willing to take it on.
You know, that's wonderful. You know, one of the things that I think is a lot different for people who are watching this is they're so used to being sold stuff. They're so used to being told what to do or sold, buy this product or do this thing, that it's really hard to believe what it is that you're talking about. And so when I met you, Paul, one of the things that really, really, I think aligned the most is your genuine compassion to serve other people. And a lot of people don't know this. Most fitness professionals, most of them, get into fitness not because of the money. Honestly, it's not because of the money. It's because we've had a lifestyle transformation somehow in our own life. For most of us, I lost 50 pounds. A lot of people don't know that. And I've been able to keep it off through relationships and fitness. And now I want to help other people feel, not necessarily just lose 50 pounds, but to feel as good as I feel. And when we met, Paul, that was one of the things that stood out very loud and clear. So I'm excited about this.
Great.
Also, we have another guest on with us, Juan Carlos, who goes by Super Carlos, over in the Portland, Oregon area. And Carlos has what's called the Fit Lab. So I'm going to unleash Carlos and tell us a little bit about what it was that inspired you, Carlos.
Yeah, as you know, Alex, you and I have known for over 10 years. Which is amazing relationship, as you guys can imagine. So as always, as you guys know, successful people model successful people, right? So I've been trying and always bringing the best to our clientele here, and because the nature of what we do is kind of a therapeutic and fitness blend. You know, I reach out to Alex and see what he was working on successfully to improve the lifestyle of his clients and everybody around him. And man, we got together, I think was early this year, I believe, right? March or so. And he's been rocking. And we just kind of been solidifying what we already have. And we just kind of make it better and better every single day. And this is one of the ways that we do it. So that's what we do. We care and we share.
I was muted there. I said, I love it. I absolutely love it. So very, very good. All right. So we're going to bring to you a little bit of the thought process that goes along with making a lifestyle transformation. And I want to be really clear about that. Change is not transformation. And that's one of the biggest misnomers that there is. You can change your shirt. You can change your job. You know, you can change the house you live in. But those are transactional types of things. Transformation is where you actually make a shift in how you think about yourself and who you are. And the things that you do are automatically the things that you do. And right now, you have the life that you have, the income that you have, the body that you have, the attitude that you have because of the underlying structure of who you are. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The underlying structure. So think about this as a river flowing down and you see certain rapids. You can think that those rapids are just self-manifesting, but realistically, what is it that is causing that rapid to have that shape is the underlying structure that the current is flowing over. And most people try and do a diet or some type of a fitness program and keep the same who they are. And they can only sustain that effort for so long. Is that fair enough to say? I could raise my hand and tell you I've done that before. I've tried that with making income. I've tried that with relationship with my wife, but yet not trying tactics or trying techniques, but not really changing the underlying structure of who I am and how I think. So we're going to take a lifestyle-based approach. It's quite different than you may have been used to hearing about or seeing or whatnot. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen with you. I'm looking at this, so just give me just a moment. I don't claim to be a technological expert here. And I'm not seeing where my presentation is. So pardon me if you see too much on my screen as I share stuff that I may not want to be sharing. We'll see what pops up. You can see my schedule just for a moment there. And let's see, screen changing. Do you see a presentation in front of you guys? Can someone come off mute and just tell me yes or no?
Yes, we're good.
All right. And can you still see my face as well somewhere in the screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I blocking the actual what you can see on the screen?
No.
Okay, good, because I can't see that right now in this particular mode. So the first thing is, let's talk a little bit about, basically creating a healthier you. And there's a major difference between trying to run away from a problem. Let's say your clothes aren't fitting. Let's say your blood pressure's up. Let's say your knees hurt. Let's say you just don't like the way you look, feel, or live. And so what do? A lot of folks react by starting some type of a fitness or a diet, as we talked about. Then what happens is, as they start journeying along, they're doing things that really don't line up with how they actually think. So they're fighting it. They're fighting the diet. They just can't wait for this to be over. And they are thinking, when am I going to start living again? Because again, living to them is this other person, this other structure, and they're doing something that's not lifestyle. It doesn't fit them. So then hopefully you caught that lifestyle. It's how does it fit? Does it actually fit you? So then what happens is, after they maybe lose 10, 20 pounds, or the say the antacid kicks in and their Prilosec, the pain goes away, they go right back to eating exactly the way they did before, or they go right back to the same things. And usually most people, the average is people lose about 10 to 20 pounds. They still feel the pain of where they were at before anymore, and they just all of a sudden start taking it easy. Oh, it'd be okay if I have a little bit of this, or miss a workout, or do whatever, starting a little high acidic food or whatever it might be. And before you know it, that weight's creeping back on. And maybe they saw that low weight, whatever that was, for maybe a week at the most. And then it starts kind of like touch and go. That'd be like flying to Hawaii and hitting the runway, hanging out in the airport for maybe a little bit, and then taking off again. And that just would be like, what's that about? And so what we want to think about is actually getting to Hawaii, getting off the plane, and getting into our resort and our hut, finding the beach and actually hanging out there, and maybe even living there. And that's what creating a healthier you is about. So a little bit about me. I'm the guy on the left, and I became the guy on the right side. Well, my wife's on the far right, but you guys get the idea. When I first started this program, I actually didn't have a whole lot to lose. I lost 50 pounds a long time ago, 18 years ago, actually around 19, 20 years ago. And that inspired me to become a fitness expert and a lifestyle expert, because people were asking me left and right, how did you do it? And when I first started, I used to help people out exercise their bad eating habits, as Israel alluded to. And I would give them all kinds of fitness programs. And if they drank too much or ate too much, instead of talking about behaviors or helping them with balancing things out, I let them keep those behaviors, because I didn't know how to coach that differently. And I would just give them extra exercise. And then, of course, some people get hurt and injured. Some people can't sustain it, and not everybody can afford a trainer all the time as well. So whenever they go away on vacation or something and life comes up, it's really easy to go back to really who you are, and it can go backwards. So when I first started this program, the picture of me on the left is my composition, and I lost about 18 pounds in about 6 weeks on this program. And I didn't really, I looked pretty good before. I'm not saying it's the best, but to lose 18 pounds, but here's the key. I didn't lose any muscle. And I basically followed a plan that only had me exercising 2 to 3 days a week for 20 minutes. And that wasn't, so it was nothing to do with the exercise that made the change. I did this little test on myself. I took my exercise down from as much as I was doing, which was like 5 to 6 days a week, down to 20 minutes, light, basically calisthenic type movements, core movements, just to preserve my muscle mass. And I followed the nutrition lifestyle program, which rewires the way you think. Remember that underlying current, and gets your internal fat burning metabolism turned on naturally the way it's supposed to, and lost 18 pounds without losing any muscle. And that is going inside of a $35,000 piece of equipment that accurately tests body fat, not just something you hold on with your hands or stand on a scale. That was brilliant. So then my wife, Jill, she wanted to, I don't think this is the right word to use when it comes to getting lean, be a guinea pig. And she wanted to join me. She was my fiance at the time. And you can see Jill over here on the left. And what's really unique about Jill is she is that client, for me as a personal trainer or a doctor would say, that it pretty much didn't have a whole lot of chance. She was exercising regularly. She was eating hardly any calories, I think below 1,200, unfortunately, starving herself practically. And her thyroid was jacked up, and so were her hormone levels. And bottom line, she wasn't losing any weight, and she was maintaining right around 177, 180. And that's what you see over here on this side of the deal. And over the course of a 2.5 month period of time, Jill dropped 40 pounds. And that's my lovely wife the day we got married, right there. And that's us in Washington, D.C. at a health and lifestyle conference. That was phenomenal. And she's been able to maintain that for the last 4.5 years. So good news. My mother also 90 pounds in the course of about 6 months, 120 total overall, which is great. So what am I really saying? People that have been in my life, and I'm a fitness expert, I had not been able to help them get the weight off because I didn't understand how to help them with the underlying current, the structure underneath of their the way their metabolism was working and the way they thought about their choices. So we're going to jump in and talk a little bit about who is Take Shape for Life. So Take Shape for Life is the coaching organization that we use. And Take Shape for Life has an alliance. We align ourselves with everyday people who care about other people. And I align myself with them through Johns Hopkins University. So Johns Hopkins is somebody that I respect. They're the leaders in obesity research. They're the top teaching university in the world for like the last 11 years in a row. So I look at their data because it's pure and it's good. And they are the ones who introduced me to Take Shape for Life and Dr. Wayne Anderson, as you see over here. And Take Shape for Life is made up of coaches that range from everyday people who care to fitness professionals and medical professionals who have had people who have struggled with maintaining success the other 23 hours of the day that they're not inside the gym getting their bottoms kicked. And many Take Shape for Life clients don't even start with the gym at all. These can be your aunt or your mom. It could be you who doesn't even like the gym. And so like my mom didn't do any exercise to lose her 90 pounds because she needed to lose a significant amount because of her inflammation in her body, and then started exercising once the impact she could handle that and those loads. So it's a misnomer that you need exercise to lose weight. Bottom line is Take Shape for Life has basically been the leader in not only weight loss, but in actually lifestyle and keeping it off. There was a study done that actually showed that, I'm sorry, I changed slides prematurely. There was a study that was done that showed that people who do a diet, and you probably have heard this before, have an 87% chance that they will go back to their starting weight within 2 years or be higher. And that those people are more depressed and more likely to develop diseases related to weight because they went on a diet. That's not good odds, which means I wouldn't want to start somebody on any kind of diet. Second thing is 91% of people who do a whole food diet fail and go back and gain the weight back. Now, does that mean whole foods are bad? Absolutely not. Take Shape for Life is a massive fan of whole foods, meal replacements, or whatever strategy is going to help you get the weight off and be able to maintain it. However, when we look at the facts, and I'm gonna ask a question here to someone else. I'm gonna take myself and stop screen sharing. And Israel, I'd like for you to share just for a moment what your experience was with recommending your whole food nutrition plan. And if I could find where to stop sharing, I will. Let me see here. Stop sharing. There you go, Israel.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, absolutely, Alex. You know, that's what I did for so long in our fitness studio since I got in the industry, and I realized the success rate was not. I mean, just for example, there were clients that literally in 1 year, there were a few clients that I really wanted to have on this lifestyle program that prior to it, in a year's time, they would come in, like you said, out exercising all their bad habits and maybe lost like 5 pounds in a year. And this was the whole food that I said, hey, this is what works. I'm going to, you don't have any idea of how to do whole foods really, or what that really makes sense, or that's overwhelming. And of course it was, that's why they failed. And then soon enough, after really taking those few clients that weren't successful through this program and to prove it for myself, to see if it truly did work, the amount of time it took for them to lose that, but even more, they lost 5 pounds in like the first week or two. by doing this program, because it's really basically giving somebody training wheels of meeting them where they're at nutritionally and not making it so overwhelming. And like you said, so then as they progress, they're going to see success over time. And that was proven with the clients in our studio, but also with my family that, you never even did exercise to see success.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. And I want you all to know also, all of us, Paul, Juan Carlos, and myself, are all fans of whole food. Absolutely. When somebody has the metabolism that can support that structure, and they have the eating habits and the lifestyle that will actually allow them to maintain that. If you lived 200 years ago, whole foods would have been an amazing thing for you, because they would have been your only choice. And as a matter of fact, you would have had to work your butt off to eat. So literally, you have to work your butt off. The average person 200 years ago, the average male burned around 7,000 calories a day. Okay? The average woman burned around 4,800 calories a day. That's a lot of calories just to get through a day. Now, the average woman gains weight if she eats anything close to 1,700 to 1,800 calories. She's gaining weight if she eats 1,700 to 1,800 because of our sedentary lifestyles and the way our bodies are basically metabolically jacked up from a lot of different things. I mean, literally, we drive in our cars and we drive to a place and we sit in a desk and then we stress out, and that changes our structure of our hormones and our physiology. We do not have the metabolic or the hormonal disposition to support that way. And on top of that, whole foods are not readily available to us. You have to, be at home or prep and cook and plan and weigh and measure, and you have to portion control. And most people just won't stick with that. I remember being in the gym with all my gym friends, and we would sit there with all of our huge briefcases of food, like a suitcase full of food, a backpack full of food with our cooler packs, eating our, brown rice, our vegetables, our lean chickens, and all of our other stuff. And I will say, I was more of a paleo guy. So that would be me, would be all these natural foods. And I'd be spending about, 18 to 20 bucks a day on food, constantly looking at food. When's my next meal going to be? So most people don't have the lifestyle to support that. And I think most of you know that. So I don't want to just go on and on about it. However, what we've found is that people who can eat 6 small meals a day, and you've probably heard that before, can really turn that fire on. Again, how do we do that in such a way that we can maintain? So what I want to kick back into making a case for a Take Shape for Life approach. Now, let me see if this screen share works. I trust that you all can see that again.
Yep.
And I'm going to put it on a larger. Can you see? I'm not sure if that works. Does that show on a larger screen? Is it showing a timer thing, or is it showing the full screen?
Both.
Okay, we don't want to see the timer. I told you I wasn't the best technology. I'm doing this just to keep your attention here. That's my... Thank you for loving and having grace here. All right, where did my presentation go? Hopefully I did not just close that. All right, I very may well have. All right, pardon me. Let's open this up one more time. Wants to keep going into full screen for some reason. Some of you Mac experts and folks could be like, tell me what to do, but we won't. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go through it just the way it is. Is it kind of small on the screen, guys? Just give me a verbal on that.
No view.
It's pretty good size.
We don't see anything. It's just us 5 on the screen.
All right. We don't like that.
It's a good view.
It's a good view. I'm a little late because I'm focused over here. My computer.
It was the audio. You're just slow.
We have the technology.